welcome to this episode of Burping podcast, guys. Today it's just myself and Minty, and before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. That is the land that we are currently recording on. Sovereignty was never ceded, and it's disappointing that to this day we don't actually have any knowledge of their history that we learn in school. I've met people who live abroad who know more about our Indigenous culture than our own people, and I think that definitely needs to change for starters. Just the acknowledgement that there was a vast and rich history before we were here. Minty, did you want to say anything on that?
I think you've said it perfectly. I think we need to be conscious of what's around us, and we need to be conscious of acknowledging what has happened and acknowledging the people that have gone through what they've gone through, and the trauma that has then impacted them through generations, so generational trauma. I mean, you said it perfectly, so I can't say it any better than that.
So thank you for sharing that moment with us. As you notice, it's just myself and Minty doing the podcast today. The vibe is incredible. We've been planning this out for a red hot minute, and Minty, just bless her soul, spent the morning kind of organizing and creating this beautiful space. So Minty, can you just share with the people, kind of go through different sections of this and just tell us what went into it, what emotions were involved, what's the situation?
Cool. So I just jumped at the opportunity. I thought this is fantastic. This is a lovely chance to use all the crazy things in my garage. Speaking of, I'm going to go and get this Pinocchio creature here. We can...
Oh my God, what?
Well.
Okay, I haven't actually seen these before.
So we have a beautiful doll from Cuba.
What?
This is directly from Cuba.
I feel like we should bring that in for the people.
Yeah, bring it in. Yeah, bring it in. And she's reversible. So if you if you're from a different denomination and you want to,
that's so cute.
So
Wow. That's
so
amazing.
the two nations or the two colors are united. They are of one.
That's gorgeous.
And that's how we should be. Are of
exactly
one. And this is going to provide some magic for us. Let's go in a little closer. Maybe you get it on this camera. Oh yeah. It's going in. It's going in. This here, it doesn't have a name.
It might not focus, but yeah, there we go. Pinocchio, but it kind of looks like Harry Potter as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Harry Potter Pinocchio.
So Harry Pinocchio.
And this is Ella.
Oh, Ella! My God, I cannot believe we didn't introduce.
She's got her little blazer on and
looking
little
swaggy
shoes.
as hell.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I'll put this little chap up
Cute.
here.
But it continues to grow and evolve. That is,
yes, you asked me a question. Yeah, so I got so excited about more things in this space. So basically, it was just like, let's create a vibe. Amutha sent me like a whole bunch of videos in the morning, and I saw. What's your preferred pronoun, actually?
I don't. I think we'll discuss this later on in the podcast. But pretty much, just call me whatever you feel comfortable with.
Fantastic. Well, Amutha, 20, as I like to call her, she sent me a whole bunch of videos, and 20 was wearing this fantastic outfit that you see currently. There's some like checks going on in case you can't see underneath the table. So damn cool. She's just going to get up so that you can see the full length
that's what I'll
of her.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, it's absorbent. You knocked over your you knocked over your water. Well, here, let me give you a top up.
Thank you so much.
There we go. I mean, water is incredibly important to drink.
Drink water.
And if you need to go to the bathroom, just hold on for another 10 minutes because the podcast is it's going to be about the duration of giving you a good bladder.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
So I went with the vibe that Amutha was wearing, and I was like, that kind of reminds me of a 70s feel. So I thought, I'm going to go 70s with what I'm wearing, and then I'm going to start to bring in pieces that are kind of quirky. We want to have our special posters here, which, highlight that we welcome anybody here. This is a safe space for anybody and everybody, no matter who or what you are, or what you choose to be, or what you choose to identify as. You could identify as a banana, and
we support you.
We support you, and you know what? B1 needs a friend. We need a B2. So yeah, so this is a whole bunch of different things that I've collected over the years. And
this section,
Yeah.
we'll get a camera on there while you explain it.
there's a like cool skateboard, a lot of hard rubbish stuff here. Beautiful speaker that's got a story of its own.
it does.
We found this speaker and some incense, some Palo Santo, which is from somebody who has left my life, and I'm cleansing the space with this gift that she has left me inadvertently.
Beautiful. That was really nicely said.
And a few little details, some beautiful cranes that my old flatmate Bronya Doyle, absolute legend, she helped set up this whole garage space to begin with.
Gorgeous.
And I wanted to bring her in. We've got the lantern, sort of Japanese feel. This matched the beautiful piece that let's bring that in for the beautiful humans to see. Look at that shit. Yeah, hey, yeah. And so on and so forth. And creating space is very exciting because you're creating a world. You're creating somewhere that people can, imagine themselves being. Like it's a real location. It's a real exploration of creativity.
That's beautiful.
And figuring out like all the different angles for the cameras as well. That's really fun. Like using your brain to MacGyver.
I think that's a wonderful analogy for life. Like people always wonder why we're here, and imagine if you were an active creator and you could create an entire world and view it from all these different perspectives and like view it from different angles. Not only are you the one that's creating, you're the one that's experiencing. So it's just like an interesting parallel. You creating this space is almost like some omnipresence creating reality in a sense.
It's absolutely omnipresence creating reality.
That's exactly what you've done. You've just done it on a different dimensional plane, but this is happening. There's levels to this, bruh.
Yeah. What dimensional plane do you think that we are currently in?
Look, that's a very
moment.
loaded question. We're functioning on, I think, multiple levels at once. I think that we are experiencing in whatever consciousness or capacity we can this physical reality, but I'm sure that there are like realities within us and outside of us in every single direction. So I might just explain the story. You already know where I'm going with this, I feel, but just for the viewers at home, I don't know. Oh, okay. You will very soon.
I'm with it.
So basically, I used to work at a sugarcane store. I got paid squat, but I loved the job because I was my own boss. I was like 4 at the time, so I was way too old to be getting paid $15 an hour, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So I worked here by myself all day. I just chuck on music, boogie, and sing. And that's kind of how I practiced becoming a singer. And essentially one morning, and I live 5 minutes away from this place as well. So one morning, I'm like in a deep sleep, and something like my body just knows I'm like about to be late for work, and I just wake up. And I like run outside, I'm going towards work, and then I'm like, wait, chill, you got time.
Yeah.
And I'm still in this weird state of like half dreaming, half awake. And I look down and I'm seeing my shadow because it's a really hot day.
Oh.
Yeah. You know the story?
I don't, but I'm loving, I'm getting visuals.
Cool.
I'm like,
Dope. So I see my shadow and I'm like, interesting. And I'm like, that's like a 2-dimensional version of me. And I was like, okay, but what if I'm a 3rd-dimensional version of something that's 4th-dimensional? And from its perspective, it's projecting me outside of itself, but I can't.
Like the mirror within the mirror within the mirror. Which
and it just
level
goes
are you?
Infinitely.
Yeah.
Those are the because creativity is infinite, So it's just like on either way, you're just like you can go, and that's what I'm saying. There are so many levels that we can like experience reality from, but in this conscious level, the physical reality is all we can perceive. But I'm sure in meditative states, in other altered states, you can experience all those different dimensions.
I think if you learn to open up that really intense connection to those other levels, that you can actually bring that into everyday practice without meditating. But I mean, then we're talking about, is it prana? No.
Like, what do you
mean? Like ultimate enlightenment.
Look, satsang.
There's a word for it.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's a word for actually leaving this world through meditation. So this is a proven thing that people do, and I actually know personally people who are going on this journey. But it's called satsang, and it's when you...
Satsang, I've heard of that. Yes, yes.
It's basically when you go into such a deep meditation that you can... Yeah.
That's ultimate enlightenment, Dharma.
Yeah.
And satsang is that journey to Dharma, right?
Yeah, basically. It's interesting because, you see these people actually, like, they die while they're meditating, and their bodies, like, I don't know, it's a very interesting thing. I don't know enough scientifically to say what the hell's going on. This is all almost anecdotal, because it's like, it's just what has been observed. These people go into these deep meditations with the conscious understanding that they are going to leave their bodies. It's a fascinating thing, and it's been happening for
centuries.
Ages. It's just like people are trying to escape the cycle of life and death. That's the whole point. They can see that this is just a constant cycle. Like nature moves in cycles. Everything is cyclical. Even the way that we think about things, emotions coming up, it's all cyclical. The way our menstrual cycles, seasons, everything. Cyclical.
I'm on right now. Mooncup.
There we are.
Brilliant.
They're so good.
Brilliant.
Super good. Mooncups are...
Get amongst it.
Get amongst it, absolutely.
Actually, I'm going to briefly touch on a subject here, which shout out to Emily Patton Brown, who has a channel about sustainability, and she does talk about, I believe, using the blood from the menstrual cup for fertilizer.
But you must dilute heavily, because apparently if you use it like just the cup and pour it, you will kill your plant. So it's like a drop to like a liter of water kind of thing. It's like a very concentrated fertilizer, but very good for your plants.
Yeah, exactly. Really great for your plants, and really great for the environment. You're not. We're reusing everything. There's no need to throw it away. No. If it has a purpose to be recycled by Mother Nature and to be absorbed and gain life from that, then that's beautiful. Yeah. It's giving life. That's what the period is. The period enables us to give life. And if we're not going to use that period and we're going to get rid of the life that we could have created, why not put that potential used life, I guess, let's say, into the plant?
I completely agree. Yeah, I think that's a phenomenal... I mean, it's just you're giving back, like there is a process that your body undergoes, and like you are giving back to like the earth that is feeding you, and it's it's your perception of it as well. Like how Minty just explained it, like I can't see anyone not getting around that, but if you're thinking about it like exactly. But if you're thinking about it real negatively, like, oh, it's gross, like, that's a perception that you have that's based on what?
Why? Yeah, based on why is it gross? Ask yourself.
Ask your damn self.
Oh, why do I find the concept of tipping blood into soil gross? What's the difference between doing that and washing it in the sink? What's the difference between that and using a tampon and having to use the bins? And you're still...
It's a part of your body like your hair,
Yeah.
It's not really a big deal until you make it a big deal. And why would you make it a big deal? You're just making life harder for yourself, right? Just chill. There we go.
They learn things.
Yeah. Oh my God. This sign.
Oh yeah.
Peace, love, and vibes. That is all you need.
Yeah.
Right there.
And
predicted text.
Oh, and these too. Speaking of sustainability.
Oh gosh, yeah.
These things are great. These are I'm advertising a product now, aren't I? But anyway, these are sustainable.
Show the people.
Yeah, just get a closer little zoom in on that, and it's rainbow. It's all inclusive. It is a no gender specific little creature. It's actually from Let's see whether you can guess. So if you can guess where this character is from, we'd love it if you would write it in the comments and let us know. Which character is this particular little human
She
from?
has asked every single person that has entered this room what this guy is. I have no idea, by the way. I'm very uncultured.
It's like
I
bubble
can
wrap.
kind of recognize it, but I don't know what it is. I wanted to quickly actually acknowledge what I said before when you asked me what my pronoun was.
Ah, fantastic.
Just because, I think it's a perfect opportunity to be able to explain this just based on the conversation we were just having. So my personal perception of reality is, I don't know if I can really condense it down into a podcast, but or maybe I should speak specifically about my connection to the idea of gender. I know that, well, for me personally, it feels like that is a social construct. It doesn't really exist. Of course, we have female and male parts, but, they're just body parts. In terms of how we feel, how we express our femininity or masculinity, it just depends on our own connection with those two things. I don't personally believe that we're either of those things. I feel like we are just consciousness. So, we can identify with one or the other if we want to, but we could also choose to identify with just like who we are as individuals. So I have no problem with people calling me they, or people calling me he, or calling me she. It doesn't really change anything for me, because I have been called all three of those genders my entire life. I'm not the most feminine looking female, and dress quite masculine, and I actually play between different things. Sometimes I dress real feminine, sometimes I dress masculine. It just depends on my mood I'm feeling that day. But at the end of the day, I don't heavily identify with either of those genders. I just enjoy embodying them when I'm embodying them, and people calling me whatever they call me, it doesn't change the way I feel about myself. No. So it doesn't bother me if they mistake my gender, but I do understand it's a very personal topic for people, and people have a personal connection to it, and I completely acknowledge that. And if that's the way they want to operate in the world, I am so happy to give that to them. That's not an issue, and it shouldn't be an issue, because everyone has the right to be whoever they want to be and feel however they want to feel. So,
but also, I mean, on that transitional stage where people are still getting used to getting their head around the language, I find myself, if I made a mistake, I feel awful, and I just torture myself about it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, how could I get that wrong? Actually, I've got a story. A work colleague of mine, I won't use any names, obviously, for just for the privacy of these people, but I had worked with this person, and we got on so well, and I saw them a while later at an event, and it was an event that we had an all-gender toilet, and that all-gender toilet was an accessible toilet beforehand, and often staff would use it because we only have one toilet for this huge venue. And I saw this person, and no, I didn't. I didn't see them initially. They were waiting in line, and the partner went to use the accessible toilet, and I went, I didn't realise that we had the all-gender sign on there at that stage, because it's changing depending on the event. And so they went to use it, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, this is an accessible toilet, and also staff toilet when it's busy. And they said, it's actually all gender, so I'm going to use it. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yep, my bad, totally didn't see it. And then the person that was with this person turned around, and I realized it was my work colleague.
Right.
And I was like, oh no. And I've had these little blunders before, and then I apologized, and I used the word girlfriend, and that didn't go down well at all either. And I just felt like I kept just making all these mistakes, and my intention was from the heart, but I got so mixed up and muddled with terms that I ended up just feeling awful that I really offended this too. And
can I say something very controversial?
Yeah, go for it.
I think that it's really important to understand someone's intention, and if you aren't allowing someone to learn from their mistakes and punishing them when you can see that they are sincerely trying, I think that's quite unfair.
Yeah.
And obviously I understand they've gone through struggles. To be honest, there's probably a lot of trauma.
I think they were hurt because it was me, and they're like, oh, how could you?
Okay.
But I was flustered, and I got.
But I feel like you shouldn't feel so guilty about it. That's all I'm saying. You've done your best to actually and now you're not going to do that again. You'll get used to language.
It's a language.
It's an incremental.
But this is an issue, right? This is an issue that does crop up. How do we make that transition a smoother place for people that are still getting their head around language? have the intention but need more education and encouragement with the language so that they know what's okay to say, what they feel, what's, because they just don't know. If you don't know that something is called a banana, then you're going to be like, yellow spade.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I feel like it's happening organically though. Like, I think, this idea of being transgendered it's been there for a while, I feel, but now it's kind of more coming into the forefront and people are getting used to the idea. And I think once people are more used to the idea and it's become part of our semantics, our everyday semantics, then we won't be fumbling around too much. We'll have the confidence. Yeah. In the same way, I'd like to relate it to the acknowledgement at the beginning, It's it's coming from a space of, I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly because I do care about how you feel and who you're expressing yourself as and what your story is. And I don't want to disrespect that in any way by saying information incorrectly. I think that's a really fair feeling to feel, but then you need to also be easy on yourself because you are trying, and that's all you can do.
And it's all a process. I mean, that's what learning is. Yeah. And I think throughout history, there's always been these transitional periods, where people have gone from one very particular way of thinking and doing things to a completely new form, like going from no electricity to electricity. It's that leap of faith, and that leap of faith that you can adapt, you can, your brain can actually cope with the new information, and you can actually change. It's just about learning it, being okay that there's going to be some bumps along the way as you sort of navigate this reprogramming of how you perceive this current world.
I like that word that you just used, reprogramming.
Yeah. Can you
break that down a little bit for me in the context of how you just used it? Not even specifically for the example, but what does that mean to you?
When I think of reprogramming, I'm thinking of old habits. Maybe these old habits are connected to core beliefs that we've learnt from our environment when we're growing up. So reprogram to me is going, okay, well, I used to do the walk straight ahead, then I would turn left, and then I would turn right. There'd be a duck pond on the left, and on my right, then I would reach my goal. Well, now I've got a couple of other ways to get there. Before, I couldn't see any other way to get there because this is what was presented to me. This is what I knew. So I was like, quick, and so that became a habit, that little direction of going and getting to my location. Now we have, over the years, different pathways that open up. And this is what this new way of living is. It's a new pathway. Yeah. I'm not used to this new pathway. It's not that I don't want to walk along this new pathway. I just don't know. And sometimes I end up running into a blooming hedge because I've gone the wrong damn direction. Yeah. Or I've cut through and I've ended up in my old pathway and I'm like, damn, I'm back in the old way again. Not because I want to, but because the brain is learning to reprogram that new option, which is to go, all right, I'm going to go right, then I'm going to take a left, and then I'm actually going to go around the back, and I'm going to kind of come in from a different direction.
If you're wondering how she knows so much shit, she actually has done psychology, so this is grounded in science.
No, I wouldn't have found that on science. That was kind of more just
I like it. I'm sure you can intuitively feel it.
Oh, we gotta touch it, don't we?
I'm sure you can intuitively feel at home what she's saying. You don't need to really process it in any other way other than you can kind of feel that process, how that happens within you. So it's very relatable, and I love the way you explained it. It was really cool. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me the space to say it. It's a great topic.
Now, this is very random, and I'm going to bring it up because it's something that's been niggling the back of my head. I know you didn't do this intentionally, but when I put this doll down, I actually put the skirt halfway so that we could see both the black and the white.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I was thinking, just so we can have them both showing.
I love that. Yeah. Oh,
that'd be cute.
That's beautiful.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're all about equality here. There we go.
Oh, you can't see it.
You can't really see it. I guess
Let's
it didn't
get her up here.
There we go.
She's on the cork board. Not the chalkboard, the
No,
corkboard.
the corkboard. That's amazing. I'm sure you guys can see
I found that in the rubbish.
That's so good.
Some people would say it should have stayed there, but I say nay to those
Good.
naysayers.
Remain a naysayer forever, Minty. Don't ever change, my friend.
All right, here we go. Oh gosh, is she in? She's in.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the toffees are getting in.
You don't want to lose those toffees, my God.
No.
That would
Oh
be
no,
a great
that's
tragedy.
advertisement. Oh dear, I think it's Nestle. Oh,
No.
let's get rid of that.
Oh, we'll blank out these names. It'll be funny. Yeah, look, no one's going to see it. No one's going to care. Come on. Anyway, how was your morning, by the way? How was it
great.
getting the space ready? How did that feel?
Oh, it was a wonderful feeling getting the space ready.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel like you were actually about to almost create the energy that is now being brought out in this podcast? In a very subtle way, you know? There's just, like, I'm feeling the ambience. I'm sure if the ambience was different, the way I conducted myself would be different, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like very subtle things in the room are changing the way that I'm being because they're activating different things in me.
Yes, well, they're stimuli, aren't they? Because they're like, each object will have your perception of
It.
event, your perception of an event.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I don't know, like the wig. So that's like sure.
Yeah.
So your perception of that object
Mhm.
is sure, and maybe mine is too, but they'll be very different. Does that make sense?
I would say actually no. When I see that wig, I think about the first time that you and I just put them on.
Oh.
There we go. But that's a
Yeah.
brilliant example of it because we are seeing that so differently.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
like explain.
That's cool.
Perfect
That's cool.
example of it.
We will try and do a little mini tour at the end of just like what the set looks
Trying to remember
like.
the camera angles.
I don't even know if this guy's still functional. We've got 3. We just went all out. We've got 1 camera in front of us, which I hope to God is still recording. We've got this guy over here, which again I hope is still recording.
Do we check it? Is that a thing?
I think if that little green light's on, it should be recording. But I'm a bit worried about your
Oh.
space because it's like it seems to be lagging every once in a while. So I don't know what it's doing, but
Well,
you know, we'll be fine. We'll work through it. It'll be.
we should have done
be okay.
a live Instagram at the same time. Still possible.
You know, I mean, I guess we could. However, Minty, you're
Yeah.
getting so ambitious. We're already reaching for the sky right now on this one.
Actually, I do have a question to ask you, Amutha. I've got a question about your idea on and about sustainable fashion.
Oh, love it. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Like, why bother living any other way, right?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
agree?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Everyone
Banana
here
is
agrees.
in on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, whether it's, you know, going out and just buying secondhand clothing or, you know, getting secondhand things and kind of customizing them to suit exactly you, I think the best part about it is you're making an outfit that is uniquely expressing who you are. And that can't be just like, you know, bought off a shelf that has 20 other shirts looking exactly the same.
No.
I think there's something really important about, you know, having clothing that's quite unique to who you are and picking out an outfit. Because, you know, it goes beyond just like, yeah, sustainable fashion is amazing for the earth. But even more so, like, it's amazing for you to be able to embody who you are. Because you know, you look at yourself and be like, yeah, I'm feeling me, you know? This is who I am. I think it makes you more confident in yourself. So
It's very creative.
yeah, totally. I'm all for fashion, but specifically sustainable fashion, of course.
Then this takes me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you hunt? Have you got any tips for hunting, and how do you put together an outfit?
Oh, this is so. Thank you, Minty. She knows me well. So I think it's quite an intuitive process. I'm sure you're aware. You kind of you walk in there, you go around, like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I don't know whether I'm looking for a shirt or a skirt. I don't know what I'm looking for. I kind of just let myself gravitate towards whatever I'm curious about. And then I'll kind of rummage around for a bit, see what's there. Sometimes I go to like, you know, dresses or shirts or something that are like like a double XL, and I'm like, yep, that's what I'm feeling today. Let me go there, and then I'll find something brilliant that's just like, this is me as a shirt, or this is me as a skirt.
Patterns, textures, shape.
There is like, yeah, I don't go for anything specific. Like I have I don't have cuts in mind, or like, you know, colors in mind that I prefer. I think it really is just like, I will see it and be like, that's the thing. Yeah, you already know. I'm sure op shoppers at home already know. Like pretty much everything we're wearing is just op shopped.
Op shop.
Stellar. What a good find. Hell yeah.
You know.
Cowboy booties.
I love creating the outfit. It's just like, I don't know about you, like, because you said you just feel intuitively about it and you go in. I used to sort of feel like that, and I still do, but now it's like I'll go intuitively, but then I'll go in thinking maybe as I'm looking at the racks, ideas start to come together.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a 70s vibe. So
nice.
this is a hand-me-down. This is op shop. This is op shop.
Yeah.
Actually, these aren't, but most, like 99.9% of my clothes are op shop. But this is a sustainable brand, this one. But yeah, so like creating a vibe, like going for like a 90s theme or something like that. Or looking for unusual textures or unusual patterns.
That's cool.
And then like mix and doing some like unusual different colors and stuff like that, using clothes in different ways, like using scarves as headpieces.
But are you going in there with this idea? Because I
Yes.
do the same thing, but it kind of just happens. Like I don't go with the
Yeah.
intention. I feel like
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
guess if you're starting out,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
guess.
I would kind of think about. Would
that's
be
a good
like
call. That's a really good call.
having a little bit of an idea, because I've spoken to so many people about op shopping, and they're like, oh yeah, but I feel so overwhelmed and there's too much stuff and I don't know what to do. So if you give yourself a little bit of an idea, okay, today I'm going to try and recreate a 90s urban kind of like baggy look. And then you start looking for like baggy pants, you know, like I don't know, like a basketball shirt or something. So then you're actually, all you're doing is you're honing your skills, and you're giving yourself a couple of little target projects to actually try and figure out and find. And then you know exactly what to look for. You're like, okay, I'm going and I've got to create this outfit. Oh, I've got to create this vibe. And then you're training your eye to be able to pick out certain things that suit certain like genres and stuff.
Really good advice. Okay, so like just rolling on the topic of like going down to these stores, going down op shopping, do you have a favorite spot? Because I'm kind of like on the hunt at the moment. I feel like, you know, I don't want to rat out brands, but I feel like there are certain brands that will like pick out what they put on their shelves and then just like mark up the price, which is not cool.
Oh, not where I go.
Yeah, where do you go?
I got a few really great ones. The Carla Space, which is a beautiful space run
the links
by
in the bio.
Carla Space. It is a space that I think she's only got the one place. It's on Lygon Street in Brunswick East, right near the Beast, and it's a female-run place. It's cool. The money is used to help women escape domestic violence. And homelessness. The woman who runs it's amazing. I think her name's Jackie, but we'll have to double check that. But it's incredible, and I've got so many amazing things from there. She takes so much care in like dry cleaning and picking things out, and everything's like a set price. So all the coats are $7. All the shoes are like $5, and then all the boots are like $7.
Oh wow!
I don't think there's anything over $7 actually.
So there's a Scavengers that's super expensive down Sydney Road, but if you're real smart about it, there's also another Scavengers that looks like a massive warehouse down Gaffney, I think. And it's like, you know, again, set prices, like $3 like tees and like, you know, $5 jeans, like super cheap.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just thinking of the crackle. I'm damn hungry. I don't know about you.
That's fair. I actually might get in on that too.
Yeah,
but we can't. I've heard I don't know whether it's a meme or whether it's real that people hate people eating on podcasts because you can hear the chewing. No, but like, you know, we love you, but we're also extremely hungry. And I know we could have probably eaten before we started recording, but we thought it would be funny to do it while recording the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm now realizing that was a terrible idea, so I do apologize to you if you hear the mouth sounds. I'll try and chew to the side so you don't hear that stuff. But that's all I can offer you. Please don't tune out.
Fully vegan. Oh yeah, please don't tune out.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are mushrooms that have just been whipped up. Minty. Oh no! Do not, don't, dude. I would not trust the company.
Hey, what are you saying?
You know exactly what I'm saying, man. I'm not gonna hold back on that.
Shivers. Oh damn! It's getting real now. It's getting real.
I had to say what I said. So tell me what went into these shroomies.
Oh, so we have, I've got a little garden out the back, and we put like beautiful olive oil, got some like sea salt from the actual.
Yeah, she had to
What's
grind
that?
it down.
I had to grind it down on the thing, on the breadboard. Oh,
He's just turned off.
Just turned off.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
we just have to click it again.
No, no, you might have run out of battery. Not battery, sorry.
Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got thyme in here, oregano, parsley,
A lot of time.
and it's just all simple, just a lovely little cooker. And we've got we're recycling using a jar for this. It's a tahini lemon dressing,
Oh,
and it's really
bless
nice.
your bloody soul. I'm super excited.
So there's another really great place.
That's homemade, by the way. She made that.
Oh,
yesterday.
homemade. Yeah, homemade. There is another 2 really good places for op shops. The really big Sabres on Sydney Road is actually pretty good,
It's okay.
It's
I
actually
think
okay.
You can find better places, but if you're like, if you can't be bothered hunting them down and you just want a place to go do a bit of op shopping, Sabres it does the job, but I'm still disappointed in the price. Sabres, come on. It's a proper, it's like a store at this point,
It
like
is.
it's secondhand stuff, but it's
You can still get a good bargain. It's just do you want to use someone? It's just a matter of like sorry, the noises. This is going to be great for those people who like is it ADSR where they love the sounds?
ASMR.
ASMR. If
Yeah.
you don't like ASMR, just put your ears in for 5 seconds.
Oh no, Minty.
There you go. I pre-warned that is ASR, and it's actually really good for people because some people they get really anxious and they find that the sounds of like clicking bubble wrap, rustling jackets. I haven't done it yet. But I can. Yeah.
Oh yeah, do
So
it.
good. Oh, there's bread. Yeah, they find it relaxing, and I think if it's going to help someone, then that's great. Do you prefer the end or the...
I actually don't mind.
Oh God.
Do you like the butt?
I don't care. Oh, I do like butt, but yeah. I mean, sorry.
Classic Minty.
I'll take this one, I guess. Yeah, I'll go for the butt.
Okay.
I'll take the butt.
Okay. All right. So that's your avo knife.
Thank you.
And did you want to do the? Are you gonna do the?
Not to be confused with aggro.
No, not to.
We don't want an aggro knife.
We don't want an aggro knife. We don't want to be associated with an aggro knife. Do not put the two of us together. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
But there's actually another op shop that is a little bit further up from that Big Sabres, which is why I talk about that Big Sabres. And I'm pretty sure it's a Salvation Army, and it's amazing. Like there's just so much cool stuff there. Sometimes a little pricey, but not too bad.
On
Yeah.
Sydney?
Or maybe not. Maybe it's on Lycan Street.
Oh.
We'll have to like put a link to like
Yeah,
the
we
actual one. So we'll put a link down below so you can check out where it is. It's really good. I donated like 12 bin bags full of clothing there. And then I was seeing my stuff on the racks. It was hilarious.
Oh, no way.
And telling the guy in the shop, I'm like, oh yeah, I bought this in Africa. Or this was handmade for me in Uganda. And he's like, oh my gosh, why you get rid of it? I'm like, well, it doesn't fit me very well. And, I don't want it to sit in a cupboard. Yes, it has these beautiful memories, but I want somebody else to put it on and they'll make new memories with this piece of clothing, having no knowledge of where it's come from.
Yeah.
It came from this beautiful young woman in actually, I know exactly where it was in. It was in Kasese, underneath the mountains underneath the Wurundjeri mountains in Kasese, in a small little town, which is Kasese. And she was just in a little market, and I paid her to make a couple of different things. I just bought the material, and then I just gave her so much more because I was like, well, obviously, you know, she's poor as. I've got the cash. I'm going to give it to her. So, and she made these beautiful clothes for me, and one of which is one of my favorite dresses. I still have it today.
Oh, wow.
I love it so much. Yeah.
This is why you up shop, because there's like vibes inside the threads of those clothes, and you're taking that with you. You're taking that on that vibe. I gave a scarf to a mate who went over to live in the UK. Well, actually, I thought she was just going over there for like 2 years, and it seems like she's not coming back. And I really wanted that scarf back. It means so much to me.
Shit, I feel
but you know, I had to actually accept that it was gone, and that was devastating. I think there's a part of me that still hopes. It's like clinging on to a little something that maybe she'll come back. But then even if she comes back, I have to have the awkward conversation of, hey,
that jumper I lent you.
I actually want that back, if you don't mind. But you know, I'm just not that person. I mean, it sucks because I love that jumper, but I think my drive towards not caring about it and letting go of it is way stronger than wanting to feel attached to it. Because I just can't be bothered, you know. Like in the exact same way, you know, you let go of those clothes even though they did mean something, and you know they were handmade for you. But you're like, you know, it needs to go back into the universe. I can imagine it's a part of who you are. You're like letting go of yourself. And the reason that scarf was so significant was because I wore it while I was living in London. I lived there for like a year, and every single day that scarf was on me, and I went through trials and tribulations with that scarf on. So it's a constant reminder of like the amount of perseverance it takes to like kind of go against a lot of different things and like live my life for me. And to give that to someone and be like, that part of my journey's over. This is where I'm at right now, and this is where I'm going. You've also, strangely enough, you've lived in London as well. We have a lot of odd similarities between us. Most of them are personality-wise, as you can tell. I feel like just the way we bounce off each other. By the way, we've only known each other for what, like a month or two? Yeah. So we like before this year we did not know like each other. We didn't. So we met that one time, and then after ages
That's when our stars aligned.
That's so true.
Okay, we had a moment.
We should tell that story, I feel. So you know, Vibe Union was invited to play a festival called Renaissance, and so we went down there, and you know, we had an amazing time. There's probably a highlight video somewhere. If it's not somewhere, then I might add it to this because it's a dope highlight video, and I don't think people have seen it yet. Colin in the name.
Let's walk. I wanna walk away. Let's talk. You wanna talk today? No way. These games we play, wake up, make up. With your bed you gotta break up. Get that gold cup to be the best. Outwork the rest. Get less rest. I'm restless in this mess. I'm restless in this mess.
You thought that you were a big boy? Is that what you thought?
I did think I was a big boy. I thought I'd finally grown up.
And so, you know, we get off stage, and Mash just mentions to me in passing. He's like, "There's like a jam station up at the back in this dingy looking shed." So, you know, I'm walking up there, and then I kind of start second guessing myself, like, nah, I'm not feeling it right now. And I kind of went back to hang out with these guys. But when I got back there, everyone was just super chill, and I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of ready to groove. I kind of want to get amongst the action still. So I ended up ditching them and just heading for the shed and trusting whatever gut feeling was taking me there. And then I entered, and I saw this insane vocalist just like hitting up that mic, just going wild on it. I was like, yeah, I need to get around that right now. So I kind of walked up to you, and you just without even hesitating or thinking about it, just invited me in and like started singing with me. She was like giving the like microphone between both of us, and yeah, we just had like an incredible exchange of music. There was no talking. It was just communicating in so many different ways. We were singing and we were just vibing, and it was a really good time. From your perspective, was that quite accurate? I mean, obviously you...
Spot on.
Yeah.
Especially the part about the gorgeous human. I'm joking. Yeah, absolutely. I remember seeing you going, oh, wonderful. Someone else is wanting to join. You take the mic, man.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at you going, no, you take it. And then you were like, you looked at me as if to hand it back. No, you keep going. This is your moment, man. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, you're always, like, unless you're really used to jamming or you have a crazy amount of confidence, which sometimes can be off-putting, like, it's hard to just want to stay on the mic because you feel like you're kind of hogging it.
Yes.
And, like, sorry, I'm so bad. I'm, like, eating while I'm talking. This is not cool. I do apologize. Bear with me. Let's get down. Let's get down the hatch. Let's not freak people out. So, yes, what were we even talking about?
We're talking about jamming.
Yeah.
Because the reason I got up was because I really wanted someone I'd met there called Freddie to get up and have a sing.
Oh! So we mutually knew Freddie. And Freddie was then invited down to one of our Lyrebird gigs.
Yeah.
And that's when Minty came down. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen her. I would not have seen her. So she came down to Lyrebird. And then, you know, I don't even know if we spoke that night.
No.
I saw you there, but we didn't speak.
I saw you too.
Yeah.
And I remember like noticing you too.
Yeah, but we didn't talk that night. And then you just started to write. Like, how did that happen? Because I don't even know if the first time I saw you at any of our gigs. Like, when did that start to happen? Because the way it just feels like a bit of a dream. There's like a fog over like when we solidified our friendship. Because there's this blurred in between stage where we were kind of talking to each other, and then there was like an instant where we just clicked completely, and then
It was at a poetry night.
yeah,
You came, you sat next to me.
yeah,
You know the moment, don't you? And then we had a bit more of an exchange of like, oh, who are you? Da, da, da. And then we just started chit-chatting. I don't even remember, man. It was so organic. Like, I think it just,
that's
like,
what I'm
happened.
saying. It just happened. I remember the biggest conversation I remember having with you, or not biggest conversation, but the most notable conversation.
been a few of those.
There's been heaps. Is when we were at Talking Blue, and I think you were, maybe you hadn't planned on going up, or you were going to go up, and I came and sat in front of you, and we
The Nana! Sorry.
was it that night?
I think it was the Nana night.
Oh, okay. I think
I just do it. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. I think that to me was like the moment where we kind of solidified something in a real way. Yeah, we were just kind of encouraging one another. I think it's really cool the connection we have because, like, you know, I have difficulty being friends with a lot of people just because, like, you know, certain insecurities come out in people and it's hard to manage them, and you know, I just don't feel that with Minty, and I'm sure she feels that with me as well. It's like just very organic.
You are the most horrible person I've ever met. Get out of my life right now.
Don't eat anything. Just leave immediately. So, like, yeah, it's just
We need to burp.
go for it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Whoa, that was wet. Oh.
Oh, well, you know, as you said, it's natural. You made me feel comfortable about that.
Absolutely natural. I just wanted to chat a bit of shit and roast you, but it's actually totally fine. People can burp and fart. There's nothing wrong with it. And if you think there's something wrong with it, please reevaluate your existence. I love you so much, but reevaluate who you are.
You couldn't
as a
exist
person.
if you did not fart and you did not burp.
It's a natural part of being alive. It's expelling out of your body. It's like you can't even help but do it. It's like making fun of someone for their height. Like, why would you do that? You
It's
know?
also like kind of like a subtle compliment in some cases because you've eaten your food so damn quick that it's like, wow, this meal was delicious. You know, you haven't kind of gone.
You get to burp and just validate how quickly you stuffed your face. That is actually part of. Is it not part of Japanese culture?
Yes, I believe it is part of Japanese culture, but
Don't quote us on
don't
any
quote
of
us on
this.
it. Yeah,
This
yeah,
entire
absolutely.
podcast.
We don't have a fact checker team.
No,
So.
no, none will. This is
Ella,
really good shit.
can you
Yeah.
check some facts, please?
She's like, no, leave me alone. What are you doing?
Oh, Needs a kiss. Yeah, so
She's been chilling all day, by the way.
oh, I know. She's been super chill. I know. Well, she feels really relaxed with you. The way she's with me is like when no one's here is how she's with you. Like she's needy with some people. Yeah, I don't know. She's